Hello dear friends, welcome to my channel Literary Sparks. Here I am back with another mock test on history of English literature. I have already uploaded 3 mock tests on history of English literature pertaining to the exam of assistant master mistress conducted by WBPSC. So if you have not watched those videos, you can go to the YouTube channel Literary Sparks and you will find the playlist on WBPSC assistant master mistress exam. So the exam date for this exam has been announced, which is scheduled to be conducted in September, in the month of September 2025. So I hope that you have started your preparation with full motivation and seriousness, and you really want to crack the exam. So I'm here to help you through this test series, and despite that, we have also started our batch on mock test. So this announcement is there at the end of the video, and the video will be helpful for you. So don't skip any part. Watch from beginning to end. I'll explain each and every questions and all the options and what are the important points that you need to remember from exam point of view. So let's start with our mock test. The first question we have: the aspects of the novel was written by. So this is a critical work which has been written by E.M. Foster, Aldous Leonard Huxley, James Joyce, D.H. Lawrence. So, aspects of the novel, it was written by E.M. Foster. That is a work of literary criticism. It is important when you read history of English literature. Next question is, where do you find find the character named Marlowe? Joseph Conrad's Lord Jim, E.M. Foster's Howard's End, Arnold Bennett's Changer, none of them. So now this character we find in Joseph Conrad's famous novel Lord Jim, and remember also that not only in Lord Jim but his famous novel Heart of Darkness, we also find the character of Marlowe. There Marlowe is the narrator. So if there is question that in which of the works you find Marlowe, then the options are Joseph Conrad, Lord Jim is there, another option is Heart of Darkness, and then both A and B. So be careful. Let's suppose that you know only about Heart of Darkness, that Marlowe is the narrator, but Marlowe is a character in Lord Jim also. So be careful about this question. Next question we have the other name for problem place. So problem place, you know that it was popular just towards the end of Victorian period and early modern period. So what is another name for problem plays? Drama of ideas, the propaganda play, drama of conflict, none. So its answer will be the drama of ideas. So problem plays or drama of ideas, these were popularized particularly by G.B. Shaw. So why problem plays? Because these plays talk about serious issues, serious problems in the society like prostitution or marriage or freedom of women or education of women, justice, all those things they talk about. And why they are called drama of ideas? Because they propagate ideas. There are ideas, and these are called problem plays also because there is no solution. The problem is raised by the playwright, and it's open to the audience to think about the prospective solution. So that's why these are called problem plays or drama of ideas. So question number 4: by whom the book Panchatantra has been written. Panchatantra is the famous children's tale, a book of tales. Actually, there are many stories, frame narratives. So, who has written Panchatantra? Chanakya, Kalidasa, Vishnu Sharma, Banabhatta. So, if this question has been asked from Indian literature, actually, that is also important because not only you have to read British literature, but Indian literature and American literature also. So Panchatantra has been written by Vishnu Sharma. The answer is Vishnu Sharma. Next question we have: who wrote Rajmohan's Wife in 1864? Rabindranath Tagore, Vibhuti Bhushan Bandyopadhyay, Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, Ram Mohan Rai. It is written by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay. This is actually important, friends. Why? Because Rajmohan's Wife, it is the first Indian novel in English. So it is the first novel written in English by an Indian. So you see that Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, he has written Rajmohan's Wife in English, but His other works are actually in Bengali. So the next question we have, Keats was a Greek. Who gave this remark? So someone said this statement about John Keats that he was a Greek. So who said that? Wordsworth, Coleridge, Lamb, Shelley. Its answer will be Shelley. Why Keats was called a Greek? That though he was born British, English actually, staying in England, but he was very much attracted to Greek culture, its poetry, its song, its sculpture, its architecture. That's why Shelley made this famous remark about John Keats that he was a Greek. The next question we have, from which French writer Bacon, Sir Francis Bacon, borrowed the term essay? So you know that Francis Bacon, he is known as the father of English essay, the father of English essay. But there was a French writer who actually invented essays. So he is called the father of essay, the actual father of essay. So who is that? De Meung, Goethe, Montaigne, none of the above. Its answer will be Montaigne. And Montaigne, this French writer, he invented essay and he spelled it Essais. That is important. The next question we have, Marlowe's mighty line. By whom it is said? Marlowe's mighty line. By this phrase is referred to his blank verse. Blank verse that he has used in his tragedies, in his plays. So who said this term about Marlowe? That Marlowe's mighty line. Ben Jonson, Samuel Johnson, R.L. Stevenson, Richard Steele. Its answer is Ben Jonson. Ben Jonson said this famous line, Marlowe's mighty line. The next question, question number 9, we have, who is famous as a peasant poet? Thomas Hood, James Hogg, Thomas More, John Clare. So its answer is, friends, Sir John Clare. But remember that when the question is that who is a peasant poet, the answer will be John Clare. But if the question is asked that who is known as a plowman poet, though plowman peasant are same terms, but who is a plowman poet, the answer will be Robert Burns, who is also known as the national poet of Scotland. So be careful when you read the questions or when you are about to write the answer, tick the answer. Be careful what is the question actually has been asked. The next question we have, when was Total's Miscellany published? This Total's Miscellany, it is very, very important in the history of English literature when you read Elizabethan period. So Total's Miscellany, Total was the publisher, Richard Total, and it was a collection of poems and sonnets written by various writers, and that after the name of the publisher, it was called Total's Miscellany. So when was it published? 1514, 1541, 1557, and 1571. Its answer is 1557. The next question we have, in which poem Wordsworth calls himself a worshipper of nature? So this is a very common term that Wordsworth is known as a worshipper of nature, a nature lover, poet of nature. So he actually calls himself a worshipper of nature in one of his poems. So we need to identify what is that poem. The Solitary Reaper, Tinton Abbey, the Prelude, Immortality One. So its answer is Tinton Abbey. In Tinton Abbey, in that way, Wordsworth calls himself a worshipper of nature. The next question we have, Samuel Johnson's biography is recorded by. So who has written the biography on Samuel Johnson, Dr. Johnson? Thomas Gray, W. Collins, J. Boswell, W. Blake. So its answer is James Boswell. James Boswell, he is the biographer of Samuel Johnson, Dr. Johnson. The next question we have, To Kill a Mockingbird is written by William Faulkner, F. Scott Fitzgerald, Harper Lee, Truman Capote. So this question actually has been taken from American literature. As I have said that you need to read not only English literature, British literature, but Indian literature or American literature. So when you read about Indian or American literature, make sure that you remember the famous works, at least the famous works of the famous writers who are often asked in exam. So To Kill a Mockingbird is a very, very famous work written by Harper Lee, the American writer. Next question 14. Who among the following poet does not belong to the pre-Raphaelite group? So, pre-Raphaelite group, it was active during the Victorian period, a group of writers and painters. So, we need to identify that who among these writers or these artists was not in that group. D.G. Rossetti was definitely there. J.E. Millis, painter, he was also there. Christina Rossetti, she is the sister of D.G. Rossetti. John Keats. John Keats was not there. So it's obvious actually that John Keats, he was romantic, and this group, pre-Raphaelite group, was active in the Victorian period. So the next question we have, who wrote the novel The Village by the Sea? This is a novel written by an Indian writer. So who is the writer? Chetan Bhagat, Anita Desai, Khuswant Singh, V.S. Naipaul. Its answer is Anita Desai. So you need to remember the titles of the novels by Anita Desai. Other titles like Fasting Feasting, Voices in the City, or Baumgartner's Bombay. There are actually many writings by Anita Desai. You need to remember the writings by V.S. Naipaul or Khuswant Singh, Anita Desai, or Chetan Bhagat, or other writers also like R.K. Narayan, Raja Rao, Mohan Prajanan. All these writers become very, very important from exam point of view. So the next question we have, which original writer helped to get R.K. Narayan's novels published? E.M. Foster, Mulk Anand, Raja Rao, Graham Greene. So its answer is Graham Greene. That actually R.K. Narayan was struggling to get his works published, and Graham Greene was a very close friend of R.K. Narayan. It was Graham Greene, the famous British writer, who helped R.K. Narayan to find a publisher. And if you remember also a very important point that may be also asked in exam, that R.K. Narayan's first novel, Swami and Friends, the title itself was suggested by Graham Greene. So Graham Greene played a very important role in the literary career of R.K. Narayan. So the next question we have, who wrote the poem Our Casual in a Tree? Dirozio, Sarojini Naidu, Toru Dutt, Jayanta Mahapatra. Its answer is Toru Dutt. Toru Dutt is quite important from Indian English literature point of view, because she is one of the earliest writers to write in English. Not only that, she is a female writer also, and she knew French. She wrote in French also as well as in English. So she is very, very important. Our Casuarina a quite famous poem written by her, Torudat. The next question we have, Hudibras is written by. Hudibras, this is a famous satirical poem written in the Restoration period. So, who is the writer? Thomas Hobbes, Nicholas Rowe, Samuel Butler, Thomas Watway. So, it's Samuel Butler who has written this book, Hudibras. And friends, don't be confused that Samuel Butler, the same name, he was a writer in the Restoration period, and there was another Samuel Butler who was active during the towards the end of Victorian period and early modern period. So he was a novelist, and here Samuel Butler, he is another person in Restoration period. He is a poet. So remember that point. It's very important to remember that. Next question: A Bane in the Ganges is a novel by. So this is also another famous novel in Indian English literature. Who has written that? Sasi Deshpande, Manohar Malgonkar, Arundhati Roy, Khuswant Singh. So its answer is Manohar Malgonkar. He has written this famous work, A Bend in the Ganges. Question number 20. Pygmalion is a play written by. Pygmalion has been written by G.V. Shaw, W.B. Yeats, W.H. Auden, Christopher Isherwood. So it is written by Pygmalion. Pygmalion is written by G.V. Shaw. So I was talking about the problem play or drama of ideas. So Pygmalion is an example written by G.V. Shaw. Question number 21. John Haywood's Four P's is an example of mystery play, morality play, miracle play, interlude. So you know that all these four categories, these were the early stages of the development of English drama, and these evolved during the medieval period, Middle English literature. So John Haywood's fourth piece, a very famous example of interlude. Interlude. It was a very short play which was performed in between serious plays. So interlude was a kind of comic play, like what we have comic relief in serious play tragedy. So that kind of play was there, and it was called interlude. The next question we have: who is the writer or interpreter of melody? Another question from Indian literature: Arundhati Roy, Jhumpa Lahiri, Kamala Das, Chitra Banerjee, Divakaruni. So, interpreter of melodies, it was written by Jhumpa Lahiri. So, the next question we have: "Call Me Ismail" is a line from Scarlet Letter, Harry F. Moby Dick, Midnight Children. So, "Call Me Ismail." This is a very famous opening, the opening line of a very famous novel in American literature, that is Moby Dick, written by Herman Melville. And remember the subtitle of Moby Dick, that call me Moby Dick or the whale. Its another title is simply the whale. Another important point, friends, from exam point of view, is that why I'm telling you all these points, because whenever you solve a question, think about all the possible questions that may be asked from that particular question. So, "Call Me Ismail," this is the famous opening of Moby Dick, and this is the very title also. This phrase, actually, this sentence has been used as a title of a book. "Call Me Ismail," it is a book of ghazals by Indian writer Aga Sahid Ali, Indian American writer Aga Sahid Ali. So, that also becomes important. So the next question we have: Church Going is a poem. Church Going is a very famous poem in the postmodern period. So it is written by Philip Larkin or Dylan Thomas, Stephen Spender or Hart Crane. It is written by Philip Larkin. Philip Larkin is very famous poet. He is included in the movement poets. When we talk about the movement poets, so Philip Larkin is there. Next question we have: the character Subtle appears in Ben Jonson. So this character Subtle has been taken from one of Ben Jonson's plays. So what is the name of the play? The Alchemist, Every Man in His Humor, Volpone, Bartholomew Fear. So it is The Alchemist, comedy of humor, where the character of Subtle appears. Question number 26. The Story of a Man of Character is the subtitle of The Mayor of Casterbridge, Jude the Obscure, Far from the Madding Crowd, Tales of the D'Urbervilles. So, the story of a man of a character, it is the subtitle of which work? All of these works have been written by Thomas Hardy. So, its answer is The Mayor of Casterbridge. The Mayor of Casterbridge, it is the primary title, and the subtitle is The Story of a Man of Character. And you need to remember that Jude the Obscure, it is the last novel written by Thomas Hardy. This is also sometimes asked in exam, and this novel is very important. Far from the Madding Crowd, this title has been taken from the poem Elegy, written in a country churchyard by Thomas Gray, the 18th century writer, pre-romantic writer. From his elegy, famous elegy, this title Far from the Madding Crowd has been taken by Thomas Hardy as the title of his novel. Next question number 27. Men and Women is a collection of poems written by. So it is a book of poems written by Tennyson, Robert Browning, William Blake, Matthew Arnold. So it is written by Robert Browning. Robert Browning is the writer of Men and Women, a collection of poems. Next, 28. Who calls Sally a beautiful and ineffectual angel, beating in the void his luminous wings in vain? This is a very famous quote which has been said about P.V. Shelley. So, who has said that? Samuel Johnson, Matthew Arnold, T.S. Eliot, T.E. Holmes. So, it is Matthew Arnold who has said this line about P.V. Shelley. Next question: which one of the following is the movement poet? I was talking about the movement poet, that Philip Larkin is included in that group. So who among these four poets is included in the movement poetry? Sylvia Plath, Edgar Allan Poe, Tom Gunn, Wallace Stevens. It's Tom Gunn who is included in the movement poetry. There are actually other writers. You should read about them. So whenever you read about a particular literary group like Lake Poets or Cockney School of Poets or Pre-Raphaelite group or the movement poets or angry young men, you should remember, or metaphysical poets or Caroline poets, you should remember each and every member of that particular group. That the questions may be asked in two ways. Either they give you the option that who is included in that group, or they will tell you to eliminate that who is not included. So until you know each and every member of a particular literary group, you can't answer that. So you need to be very, very careful about that and remember each and every member of a particular literary group or club. So the next question we have, name the writer associated in her craft with a little bit of ivory 2 inches wide. This is a famous line actually, which is used in literary criticism often. So who is the writer who is associated with this line? That this line has been said by about a famous writer. Who is the writer? Charlotte Bronte, Jane Austen, Emily Bronte, Elizabeth Gaskell. Friends, its answer is Jane Austen. Jane Austen. This line, a little bit of ivory 2 inches wide, has been said about the craft of, about the skill of the literary style or thematic concerns of Jane Austen. So, friends, this was another mock test on history of English literature. So not only discussed the questions but also the answers and other related points, that in which way or what are the points that you should remember, or in what manners you can expect other questions from associated writers or writing. So we have started mock test. So here you get topic wise mock test. We'll get topic wise mock test on different eras of history of English literature, then Indian English literature, American literature, or various topics of grammar, vocabulary, comprehension test, figure of speech, rhetoric, and also the various texts of drama, poetry, novel. And questions and answer you get in PDFs, and there is a spoken of history of English literature, because many of you have not read history of English literature for a long time. You haven't yet taught. You did not get the scope to read it chronologically with full focus, clear understanding. So I'm putting a special focus on history of English literature in this mock test series, and there is special meetings and discussions to answer your queries, your doubts, to clear your doubts, and OMR sheets is also provided for your practice. So if you are interested to join the mock test group, you can WhatsApp on 9800982695. So if you find the video helpful, hit the like button, and many more interesting videos are coming on this topic. So to make sure that you don't miss any of these videos, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you will get the notification whenever there is a new video. If you need any other particular topic or you have any queries, you can write that in the comment box, or also for further guidance and queries, you can join our WhatsApp group. The link is there in the description box. Thank you. See you again in the next video.